Okay, let's talk seriously about the things that I wish that I knew before I got into Amazon FBA. Guys, this is not going to be one of those videos where I feed you some garbage. One thing I wish I knew is that I needed to have like next level determination, or you really have to have the right mindset to succeed in e-commerce, or you really got to have that dog in you if you want to see success in Amazon FBA. It's not like that. No, these are actual things after being in the business for over 2 years that I really think you should consider if you're considering Amazon FBA as either a side hustle or a full-time thing. Let's go ahead and start off with the first one, which actually is that there are multiple different kinds of business models within selling on Amazon. Here's just a couple of those and really quickly kind of what they're about. There's wholesale, there's retail arbitrage / online arbitrage, there's private label, and then there's what I like to call being a brand owner. Wholesale, essentially, the dumbed down version, is where you are selling other brands' products on Amazon. You're working with that supplier to get the product to sell. There's a lot of issues, in my opinion, with this business model in that you don't actually own the brand that you're selling. You don't own that product. At any point, you could be cut off from that supplier. At any point, that supplier could just choose to sell their own product on Amazon under their own listing and just boot you off, and there's nothing you can do about it. Retail arbitrage and online arbitrage are just different animals in and of themselves. What's really nice about them is there's like no startup cost required for those. You're essentially just taking products that you buy somewhere for cheap and selling them online for a profit. And that's both retail and online arbitrage, just respectively. You're either buying from a store or you're buying somewhere else online. The absolute grind and hustle that people put in to actually make those businesses work is like nothing short of amazing to me. Good job for any of you that do it. I just have no desire to go around hunting for one-off product deals to then try to flip it online. That's just not the style of business I want to run. Then there's private label. This is what I got my start in as far as Amazon FBA. I started with private label. This is where you source a product from China or Vietnam or wherever you want to source your product from. You find the manufacturer. Ideally at that point, you're differentiating that product and labeling it your own, putting your own brand name on it, and then selling that on Amazon. This one made a little more sense to me in the beginning because it actually is an asset. It's a brand that you do own. And maybe it's like a pride thing, but I just really liked the idea of owning an actual brand, of being able to call that my product and just doing all the footwork to get that launched and going. Private label is essentially where you do that for multiple different products. I know some private label sellers that have like 20, 50, 100 products in their catalog, and that's how they run their business. And they get really good at launching good products. And then the last one is kind of one that I've coined myself a little bit. I haven't heard a ton of people talking about this, but that is being an actual brand owner. A singular product or a family of products underneath a brand that you are putting your full focus, effort, financials, mindset, power, heart, soul, blood, sweat, tears, everything into to make work. And you don't have to only be selling it on Amazon. You can go omni-channel, you can go through Shopify, you can sell it on TikTok Shop, sell it at a brick and mortar if you want to. You can go to different shows with it. You could find so many different means of selling this product, and it's because you are fully invested in the brand itself. This is where you start to care about the creatives to like the next level. You start to care about the advertising to the next level. You start to actually care about the website. You put actual effort into R&D and figuring out ways to improve this product to meet the market's demand and really grow a brand around a differentiated product that has a proven market. Quite the explanation for brand owner, but it's what I'm the most passionate about. It's what I'm striving to do in my own Amazon FBA business, and I'm just really excited about it. But that being said, everybody has their own opinions on the different styles of selling on Amazon. So look into each one, figure out which one vibes best with you, and just learn more about it because you can be profitable in any of them. Second thing I wish I knew was understanding margins. I'm afraid to admit this because it makes me sound a little bit naive, but in the beginning of selling on Amazon FBA, I was swept off my feet with all of those screenshots that you see of people showing their seller app, showing how much they made. They do the little like swipe down to show that it's like accurate and that they sold like 5K that day, 10K that day, they're like 50K that month. And at the time, I had no idea the real difference in Amazon terms as far as gross profit, net profit, and what you're actually taking home and what's not being reinvested into the business or in inventory or in advertising, let alone taxes and expenses. Those people with those screenshots didn't look necessarily smarter than at least I felt like, so I was absolutely convinced that I could do that too. I will say, after being in the business, being able to get those numbers, 10, 20, 50K, if you're doing 50K a month, you're obviously doing something right. If you're doing 10K a month, you're doing something right. You are selling product. But don't let that fool you, because that doesn't necessarily show the actual profit. You could be negative. You could be losing money on 50 grand a month in revenue if you don't know what you're doing, if you don't understand profit margins, and if you don't understand how to run a business profitably. Third is that you got to stay organized. Between coaching programs, softwares, suppliers, products, cost of goods sold, pay-per-click advertising, Seller Central, Amazon fees, inventory limits, the list goes on and on and on and on. You will get absolutely lost in the sauce if you are not careful about every step you take along the way. Please just stay organized. Pick your favorite organizational software. Mine is Monday.com, but even if you're using a pen and paper to keep track of all the things, all the different facets of your business, do that. Keep track of your products, where they are in the launch phase. Keep track of the things you're learning in a coaching program. Keep track of your profit and loss. Keep track of expenses. Keep track of software fees. Just make sure that you find a way to stay organized that works best for you. You may not even know all the things that need to be organized until you start doing the business, but just as you go and as you learn, find a method that works for you. You will save yourself a ton of headache in the future. Fourth is to keep learning. Keep that YouTube tab open at all times. Watch every video you can about the subject, no matter which business model you choose inside of selling on Amazon. There are plenty of gurus out there who are willing to teach you anything about it. Sure, if you want some of those deeper secrets about it, maybe you have to pay for it. So be it. Invest in yourself. Invest in learning something. I'm not a hater of online courses. I'm really not. I fully believe in them, actually. But nonetheless, there is an insane amount of free value on YouTube from these creators, hopefully like me, who are providing this information for free. Maybe just like the video or something. Subscribe, I don't know. But it is important because this business changes constantly. Selling on Amazon is different today than it was 6 months ago, let alone the 2.5 years that I've been doing this. It's so much different. And you need to stay up to date on the information that is changing, the new ways to sell, the new strategies, the ways that you have to stay TOS compliant. You gotta watch what's going on with the supply chain to make sure nothing is affecting the way that you get your products here. There are so many things to this business that change so frequently. It's kind of what makes it exciting though. It's not a static business. If you're not going to keep up, you're going to fall behind. Which speaks a little bit to the fact of is this business saturated? Yeah, it's saturated with really poor sellers. But what it's not saturated with is people who are willing to make the effort to keep up with the business, to continually learn, to make their products better, to make their brands better, to create the best content. Those are the sellers that make it. Those are the sellers that actually make this business work. And there's not too many of those. Fifth and finally is to get a coach. I say this all the time. I personally do not have a coaching course. I'm just simply not there yet. I don't feel like I'm there yet. I'm not gonna pretend that I have all the answers and just BS a course for you to buy. You and me are essentially figuring this business out together. I just happen to be making content about it because I like to. However, there are people that I do feel like have legitimate courses with legitimate knowledge inside of them because I know they've had tangible long-term results in the business. They've proven it over and over and over again. Those are the people I wanna learn from. I wanna learn from the people who have the processes. I wanna learn from the people who have seen the success and the failures, both sides, have learned from them, implemented the wins, and are continuing to grow. I don't want somebody who had, a one-off success with a product, built a course about it, and now that's all they do. I want somebody who's still in the trenches with me. Those are the course creators you want to look for. I used to be a content creator on a channel that would review online courses, so I know a little bit about these courses. I know a little bit about what makes an actually good course creator, and that is the number one thing. Are they still in the business? Are they still primarily relying on that business? Because if they're not, that's a red flag. But when you do find one, follow that course to the T, at least in the beginning. At some point when you've learned all the things you need to in order to get your business started, take some creative liberties, put your own spin on it. But trust me, the way that course is built out for a reason like that. And I do believe if you found a good coach, you can meet a similar level of success. And you're going to avoid a lot of the pitfalls, a lot of the hurdles, a lot of the heartache, a lot of the financial loss by having somebody coach you through it. I will leave a link to the course that I'm in down below. If you're interested in checking that one out, you can join it with me. Also, just as a shameless plug, before I got into Amazon FBA, I was in advertising. I've been a paid ad buyer for a long time for a lot of big companies here in Utah. And Seller 360 is my passion project. It's what I love to do. I love to help people scale their brands through advertising. And our flagship service with Seller 360 is a full done-for-you PPC service. So if you do sell on Amazon, whether you've been selling for a long time, you've got big brands, or if you are launching your first product, if you need help or want help with your PPC advertising, and you want to be able to hand that off to somebody who wants to scale your business with you, almost like a teammate, a partner, that's Seller 360, so you can focus on growing the brand itself. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this video helps you out. Please, again, leave a like, subscribe if you want to see more of this. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything you want to know or want me to talk about in future videos. Appreciate the support. Thank you guys. See you in the next one.